Hello, I'm Dr. Barbara Schneidman, and I'm currently in Honolulu, Hawaii, attending the American Medical Association interim meeting as part of the delegation from the APA to the AMA. I recently had the opportunity to participate in a panel on assessing clinical competency in senior physicians. This was sponsored by the Senior Physicians Group of the AMA. There were concerns that as the physician age group is aging and going into retirement, what kind of cognitive challenges would they be facing, what kind of regulatory challenges would they be facing, and how to prepare best for retirement, and how to prepare best if they want to stay active clinically. I took on pretty much the responsibility of this panel of talking about the current environment and how best to prepare. Other speakers talked a bit about the cognitive changes that are seen, and also talked a bit about preparation, especially if there are some cognitive failures that are going on. As we all know, the current environment, especially the regulatory environment, is changing quite a bit. You have maintenance of certification for those who are board certified. You have maintenance of licensure for those who who either not board certified or choose to go through some kind of continuing competency assessment. Both of these processes are going to probably pick up some cognitive decline in physicians as they age. And my concern was, one, to be prepared for these kinds of changes, and also not only to be prepared, but perhaps be a step ahead of it with things like staying healthy, exercise as much as you can, have a personal physician, so that if there is any illness issues, you have somebody who's following you. Don't relinquish your license. Try and stay as clinically active as you can, and especially stay up with your continuing medical education requirements. If there should be any kind of malpractice or litigation within your practice, if you haven't kept up with your CME, it could really reflect poorly on you and your practice. Do a self-assessment exercise. Self-assessment is a wonderful way of not just exercising your brain, but will also point out your strengths and your weaknesses and give you an opportunity to work on your weaknesses, especially if you do decide to take a structured exam, either as to maintaining your maintenance of certification, or perhaps because you decide to move to another state and that state requires that you take an exam within the last 10 years. So I think these are things that you can do. There are many physicians in our age group that have gone into administrative positions and decide to re-enter and go back to clinical practice. Part of that requirement to go back to clinical practice may very well be taking some kind of exam or participating in some kind of continuous assessment process. So I think it's important that we're aware of what's happening, find out what the requirements are in your state for relicensure, re-entry to license, and perhaps if you are board certified, to participate in maintenance of certification, even if you have a lifetime certificate, as a way of just keeping up your skills and being clinically active if there's ever a credentialing question from your hospital, your practice, or your state licensing board.